Okay, so feel free to open up your Zoom video and welcome everybody. I'm excited to have you on here. Okay, so when I see a client, the first thing, so all of you, each and every one of you, if I was to ask you this magical question, and the question is, what do you want? What do you want to feel like? Write that down right now. What do you want? What do you want to feel like? Yeah. What do you want to feel like? You got that? And when you have that, what you want to feel like, what will that give you? What will that give you? Now, before I go any further, I am going to ask you if any of you said, I don't want something. Or did you all say actually what you wanted? Because I get a lot of my clients who say to me, and I don't know if you did this, Dan, or anybody else, if you said, I don't want to be so tired, I don't want to be to have all these negative thoughts, I don't want, okay? When we say what you don't want, and that's what you might have written down, or you say it out loud, and that's what you focus on, guess what you get? You get more of that. So if you had any of you come to see me in person, and I would have said to you, well, when you came to see me with your GPS, did you put in, I don't want Holly Springs, I don't want Fuquay, I don't want wherever. So it's always about, what do you want? What do you actually want? Okay? So it's interesting, isn't it? Because God, the universe, whoever is hearing, oh, that's what they want. So if you put down, I want peace, I want calm, I want better sleep, I want better health, that's great. Okay? So that's a good winner. All right? So when you have written down what you want, I've now asked you, what will that give you? Now I'm going to ask you the next question, which is, what's stopping you from having that already now? So what is stopping you from having that now? Write that down for me. What is stopping you? Interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes it could be other people, but sometimes it's our own thoughts. Interesting. Okay, so write down what you notice. And then I'd also like you to write down, because I'm going to ask you this question now. Who supports you? Who supports you? Who looks after you? And sometimes I do know that it is yourself, and that is it. I just want to know for the next time I see you, those questions. Okay? So it's quite interesting, isn't it? All right. So now we know what you want, though. We know what you want to feel like. You know what you want. You know what you want to feel like. Okay. So now I am going to explain through some diagrams a little bit more about what is going on for you. So I'm going to get this paper and I'm going to build these diagrams. You can either literally build them with me, or you can focus on what I'm doing. As I say, you're going to get the recording. So I should get my trusty pen out, and I'm going to draw this. If you are drawing these with me, draw this at the top of your paper and make sure you've got sort of like half bit left down at the bottom. Okay, because right now I'm going to draw like an egg. Okay, now this is a model, And this represents your brain. Okay? Obviously, I know it's not your brain, but it's a model. Okay? Now, this bit, I'm going to draw a line here. Now, this bit at the top is your conscious mind. And this is the bit that you learnt to drive with. We all did. Okay? Fully conscious. If you had a stick shift, which is like gears, you will drive you really conscious, okay? Because you've got the clutch as well. So you probably look down at your feet to see what your feet were doing. Fully there, listening, holding your hands, looking over your shoulder. When we're first learning to drive, we are fully conscious. However, now I bet all of us at some point we literally put the key in, press the button, and we just kind of go off, okay? And we might even fiddle with the mirror halfway down the street because somebody else has been driving our car. And it's like we go, oh, yeah, because we now drive with this bit, which is our unconscious, subconscious part of our mind. Look how big that bit is. And it's where all our habits, dreams, and memories are stored in this bigger bit here, in this big bit, okay? Now, we are all 100% emotional brain. Every single one of you has an emotional attachment to something, okay? You have attachments to maybe pictures or holiday vacation, little objects that you've collected, jewellery. We are 100% emotional brain, and we have emotional attachments to so many things. Now, we also all react 100% emotionally. Yeah? How many of you have ever lost your credit cards? Accidentally left it in the gas station or at a shop? I recently did it just at the airport. Oh my God. It was like, what was I doing when I was getting my strips for my suitcases? It's like, what am I doing? You know? But that, and actually, I didn't know they just called my name over the antennae. So I never actually got that horrible sinking feeling. But that is what can happen, isn't it? Yeah? And we can flash with anger, flash with sadness. We are 100% emotional brain because this bit here, okay, this bit is our. Have you got a question, Dan?
Yeah, what was the third one? Habits, dreams, and third one. I can't remember.
Memories. Because this bit here is our anxiety box, this bit. And this little bit here is, yeah, and anybody, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask them or put them in the chat, okay? This bit down here is our anxiety box. The bottom bit goes back to caveman days, fight, flight, freeze. We are meant to have some anxiety. We're meant to, keeps us safe. So that is normal anxiety. If you didn't have that, you'd let your children play with copperheads or run out in the street and play without any warning about what cars do. Yeah? So we're meant to have that. It's like the person, I mean, we've all been there. We've been driving along and then suddenly you come across somebody in front of you and they're swerving all over the place. Yeah? And you go, whoa. You hang back. You go, you literally clock into this conscious bit and go, they're asleep, they're drunk, they're on drugs, they're on their phone. I'm watching out for this person now, okay? So we have to have that because it keeps us safe. It's perfectly normal to have some anxiety. Okay, now then we have this bit here, this bit. And this is where all the shitty bits in life happen, okay? And we will all have come across some of these at some point or know other people who have. Okay, and there's rape, there's abuse, there's neglect, there's bullying, there's people divorcing, dying, pets dying, there's car crashes, there's tsunamis, there's flooding, there's friendship breakups, there is stuff. And these are called exiles in pain. Past pain that is still in pain. Past pain that is still in pain. Okay? And feel free to ask me any questions that you may have right now. Everybody understand that about the past pain still in pain? Yeah? You get that? And when these they can ping off each other, okay? Because we have this can happen and then that happens and then that happens and it's like, oh, we get that overwhelm, yeah? The emotional brain kicks in. I've just done two little lines from the emotional brain to the top bit there, and then it produces these. The emotional brain produces these, which look like udders on cow. Okay? And these are our outlets or sub protectors. So what have we got here? Well, we have all the habits and addictions. All the various ones. So let's go through them and feel free to shout any out if you want to. We've got alcohol, drugs, gambling, got sex and porn. There is affairs. People, they have affairs. There is shopping, work, of course. There is sugar and food. Too much food. Obviously, we need to eat food. There is too much at the going to the gym. Gym's great. It's a great one. However, we all know the people who are literally there like 5 hours a day. Okay, there are just some people like that. And the list could go on. There's all sorts of things that people do. All right, that becomes a habit or an addiction. There are good ones. There are not so many good ones. All right, so remember, some things are okay because they're over here. We might want to put hobbies. Okay, on this one, nothing wrong with hobbies. I always ask everybody. So if any of you want to write down your hobbies, what have you got? Great. That's great that you have them. Okay. Now we also have OCD. And there's fears and phobias. If any of you have any of these right now, ring them. Okay? If you're watching this, ring the ones that you have as I say them. There is sleep issues, insomnia, nightmares. Can you write down? Tell me how many hours sleep you get, roughly. Do you wake up in the night? Does it take you 3 hours to get to sleep? Notice what you notice there. Sleep is so important. It is the time when we rest. It's the time when we repair. It is the time that gives us rapid eye movement so that our mind can pocket what it's just learnt or experienced during the day, because our wonderful mind helps us all the time. So sleep is really important. Pain. Notice if you have any pain. There is IBS, that's irritable bowel syndrome. There is mystery pain. Okay, so sometimes it's like, I don't know why I've got this. There is fibromyalgia. There are migraines. Do you get headaches? Do you get anything that stops you from doing something because it's in here? Because it is an outlet or a sub-protector. Okay? And you might think, what is it? What do you mean? And how can, all this other stuff be protecting me? Well, when you're so busy doing this, you're not doing that. You're not doing the real pain. Okay, so the list goes on. There's all the various anxieties. There is depression. There are tics, and I don't mean the little creatures. Okay, I mean people do various facial movements. There is bruxism, teeth grinding, teeth clenching. Again, keep ringing if you've got any of these. let me know. There is hair pulling, which is trichotillomania. I am not going to write trichotillomania. It will take me all day. There is picking, nail biting. So let's go back to that picking one. Have you got picking? Do you know other people who pick? Look around and see if they've got bloody cuticles, or if they're constantly picking lips. Just recently had someone picking their lips. Cheek chewing. People pick. That's hair pulling, but they pick. Picking. Picking is criticism. So if you have family, any of you that are picking, they are criticising themselves. However, where did they get that from? You get youngsters who have been biting their nails since they're very young. Did they copy it? Maybe they did. But the actual picking and bleeding, where did they get that from? And it's literally picking at yourself. So get curious. Somebody may have criticised you so much that you are now criticising yourself. Okay? And you're literally doing it, literally picking at yourself. So again, as I say, we've got hobbies. Love our hobbies. Make sure you write those down. Do-gooders. Nothing wrong with do-gooders. Love do-gooders. I'm actually a do-gooder. Nothing wrong with that. But I do know that if people plaster it all over Facebook, then it's often because they didn't get enough praise when they were a child. So it's there as an exile in pain. Okay? It is a pain that's causing people to behave like this. And again, as I say, we do need our do-gooders in the world. Okay, so what else have we got? Well, we have stealing, anger, and of course, bruxism, the teeth grinding, that is suppressed anger, teeth clenching, suppressed anger. And anger is an interesting one. You may not be angry outwards, but you should on yourself. I should be able to do this. I should. Ring it if that is you. If it is anger and it's suppressed anger. I should be able to afford this by now. I should be doing this. I should be. And we have inner critical voice. The inner critical voice. Again, whose voice is it? We all have one. It is actually the Jiminy Cricket. It is our little conscious going, should you be, and it's just checking in with you. Now, sometimes that's not a problem. You go, yeah, it's fine. Okay. So make friends with it. But sometimes some people's inner critical voice is so mean. And this is what I see so many people for, that inner critical voice that is literally berating them all the time. You should have known how to do that. You should have done, you stupid whatever. Oh, you're fat, you're ugly, you smell. People don't like you. You're lazy. You look awful in your clothes, blah, blah, blah. And people go, how is that protecting me? How is it protecting me? Yes, they may be large size. How is it protecting me? It doesn't want you to die. There is always something else below it. Okay? So make friends with the inner critical voice and find out what it is really telling you. Because perhaps we have here as well, I've run out of room, perfectionism, which can lead to procrastination. So yeah, maybe it doesn't want you to procrastinate. This list could go on and on and on. I could add hoarding. I could add all sorts of things. So if you are listening to this and I haven't mentioned your thing that you do, because we all have behaviours, we're all quirky human beings, write it down. Write your own down, what you do. Or ring all the things that you do, because everybody gets so busy doing all of these things that then they don't have time for that. Nobody wants to feel the exiles in pain. So when you come to see me, you will come with a list, we'll write that down soon, of your past pain that is still in pain, and then we will clear it. Okay? Because that is what I do. Because when we clear these, the exiles in pain, all these behaviours shrink by default, just by the nature of it, because you no longer need to do that. You no need to do them to keep you busy, because that exile in pain is no longer there. Does that make sense to everybody? Have you got any questions on that, Dan?
Not right now.
No? Okay, excellent. Okay, so just ring what you've got. Okay, because now I've got another diagram. Okay, now this is the triangles of life. So I'm going to draw a triangle up here at the top, like that. Okay, make sure you have space below here. And this is when you're first born. So your mind is eager to learn, your body is eager to get going, and your soul is brand new and shiny from Soul World. Okay? If you, I don't know if you believe in souls, but that's fine. We can always put self anyway, because it is you. Okay? Now, I'm going to do a Venn diagram here now. Okay? So when these all overlap, like that, can you see that bit in the middle? We get this lovely little bit in here, in the middle, and that is called balance and harmony. Balance and harmony. And I don't know if you got that as a child. I hope you did. This is before we're 5 years old, and it is play, 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 Christmas, birthdays, play, 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 Christmas, birthdays. It's all of those wonderful things that we get to have when we are a child. Bath time, books, playing, food, cuddles, another birthday, all of that. So just notice, write down, just say, yes, I got that, or no, I didn't. Okay? Because I will want to know. And hopefully you're able to provide it for your own children if you have children. Okay? And I know sometimes people aren't able to. Okay? So, and now this bit, no matter what though, do you know what? We go to school. Ooh, there's always school time. And then we have this thing called expectations. Now, as parents, or as a child, there are expectations put on us, because we are expected to do our homework, brush our teeth, come down when we're called for dinner, yeah? However, some parents say to their child, why didn't you get the A star? Why didn't you make honour roll? Why didn't you get into the football team, the soccer team? They did. They start suddenly comparing you with your other brothers or sisters, or themselves. I made this, so why can't you? And sometimes it's the child themselves. Sometimes maybe you did that as a youngster. Maybe you put that pressure on yourself. Maybe you got it from teachers. But there was these expectations, and that leads to disappointments, which can lead to this triangle. And we have, and it's all based in fear. So put fear at the bottom. We have anger and we have guilt. And the anger feeds the fear, and the fear feeds the guilt, and the guilt feeds the anger, and the anger feeds the guilt, and the guilt feeds the fear, and the fear feeds the anger, and it goes every which ways. Most people that see me are in this triangle. And all anger, all the shoulding, even if it's not outrightly getting angry with other people, the shoulding is based in the fear. The fear of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm unlovable, I'm stupid. Who would want to work with me? Oh, never be enough, I'm not good enough. Okay, so just notice what we notice about this triangle. And then, of course, if we are angry with other people, then we can feel guilty for it. Oh, and then we go back to fear again. You see, it goes round and round and round and round. Okay? So it's my job to help you get back to balance and harmony. And I'm going to do that through acceptance. Now that's acceptance of yourself and acceptance of other people. So that's accept yourself, because you are quirky. We all are. We're all weird. Okay? And so is everybody else, because they're people. Okay? So that's acceptance. And then we have forgiveness. And most especially forgiveness of yourself. Forgiveness of others. But I'm telling you, I will never tell you to forgive somebody. All right? Because I see far too many people that have been abused, and there is no way that I will tell you to forgive somebody. All right? Because who am I? Who am I to tell you to forgive somebody? I help you get to a place of indifference so that you can choose to forgive if you want to, because it's your choice. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Yeah, because this is my job, letting go. I will help you do that. Let go of those exiles in pain so that you get to do this bit, moving on. That is your job. Moving on. That is what you will do. Sound good? Yeah. Okay? So now, let me explain. Do I have any questions on any of that? No, you're all good to go. Makes sense. Excellent. Okay. So let me explain this now. So I've got my little toy here. Okay. And it represents the amygdala, which is a very, very special part in our brain that is always looking after us. Okay. It's going fight, flight, freeze. Fight, flight, freeze. It's always looking after us. And we need this. Okay. Because right now, okay, if a copperhead slithered in here, some of you might be in places where a bear could come into your room, where an alligator could come into your room, but wherever you may be, you would move pretty damn quick, right? You'd go like that. Yeah, you'd all go like that. Oh, like that. So that you would move. So aren't our brains amazing? Isn't that fantastic? Because when we move like that, we get a shot of cortisol, a shot of adrenaline, and our body will just move. Because if I said to you right now, every single one of you jump up on your chair, you would look at me and go, gosh, she's not going to make me do that, is she? No, I'm not. Okay. But not a problem. Not a problem if something, if a snake came into your room. I'm sure most of you, I'm sure the men, you'd all deal with it, women as well. I don't know, I think I'd just scream. But but anyway, I would move. Okay. So yes, aren't our brains amazing? So it's like, thank you, brain. Okay. Now, imagine we're in a bank and a robber comes in with a gun. What will we do? We go like that. And then he smells of a really stinky cologne and he grabs us by our shoulders and he shoves us in a tiny closet. Now we are trapped in this tiny closet. Okay. Police come. They take him away. Ooh, because we're let out. Ooh, we go back down there. But do you know what? We don't like being touched on our shoulders anymore because he anchored in fear. Okay, he anchored in fear. And some of us might not like flying. Some of us, if we're in a small room, might always have to have the doors open. Some of us might not like elevators. 20 years later, you could start going, oh, what's that smell? Oh, I don't like it. Start having a panic attack. You have no idea why you're having a panic attack. But the amygdala remembers why. The amygdala remembers why. Because the body keeps the score. Isn't that fascinating? So that is why we all react because it's when we are trapped. Okay, so when we're trapped, our amygdala is open wide like that. It's on high alert. It's pumping all the cortisol, all the adrenaline so that we can move, do something, freeze, whatever it is. But we need that. Okay, so when we're like that, we're open. It's called an AMPA receptor, but I say it's like a big blob of poo sticks on your amygdala, sticks on there. And then sometimes, and a lot of the time, it catastrophizes. So now we might not have liked aeroplanes. Now it is all the other things. Now if we're in a movie theatre or a theatre anywhere, we always have to sit on the end, or we don't even go at all, because that has gone all over here. So my job is to pop these off, and these are the exiles in pain. Okay, going back to that little diagram that looks like the hand. These are the exiles in pain. My job is to get rid of these. Somebody said, oh, so you're the pooper scooper. Yes, I am the pooper scooper. We get your poop in a group. You will feel it here. Together, we will deal with it. And then together, we will heal it. I do not call myself a healer. Together, we do it because I need the right attitude from someone. I have the skills, together we have the knowledge, and I give people more skills, and even today I'll be giving lots of techniques and strategies that you can use moving forwards so that we can get rid of those, so that instead of going like that, we just go so what, so what, so what. I am not magic. Okay, I cannot take the whole thing away. But say if that thing that upsets you still, because it might get, if you like, triggered, that word triggered. I am not magic. I can't take the whole thing away. So say it's like a frog in your throat. I can't take the whole frog away, but I can turn it back into a tadpole or frog spawn. Pretty good, right? So that you feel indifferent towards it. Because that is what I can do by helping you let it go. Okay, so this is what I would like you to do before you see me, before you come and work with me. Okay, so this, if you like, is homework or something I'd just like you to do. Okay, so any of you right now, at the top of a paper, write age, how old you were, and it could be a range. And then I want the significant emotional event, or it could be a feeling. It could be this feeling of being unworthy or not heard from that age to that age. Could be a range. I don't know what you are going to have. Okay? And then out of 10, 10 being the worst, how much that still upsets you. So it's like a pain scale when you go to the doctors. They ask you to scale your pain. 10 is the worst, 0 is nothing. So what I'm really looking for is the big frogs in your throat, the big fat elephant sitting on your chest, your head that feels like, it's just going to explode. Those ones. And then I will get rid of those with the process that I use. Eye movements, could be havening, it could be whatever I use to choose to that will work best for you when I see you. Okay, but it could be the bunny talk process. It could be, and it often is actually, especially if there's things way back from when you were a little child. All right, so that is what I would like you to do before I see you next. Now then, I've got another diagram. I hope you like these diagrams. You like these diagrams?
Yeah.
Aren't they? Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Okay, so here we have, so I'm going to draw this, and this is the barrel of life. Okay, and there's a little outlet there. Okay, however, now stuff is meant to come through there and meant to flow out. However, that gets blocked. And that is your initial sensitizing event, an ISE, initial sensitizing event. And then there is an activating event. And then there is lots of other subsequent sensitizing events that go on and on and on and on that remind you of these first two events until you are literally overflowing. Which is why I wouldn't want your list, because if I can get those two, it unblocks that and the rest come down like dominoes. So I want the initial sensitizing event and the activating event. So let me explain what I mean by that. So imagine you have a little girl and she is playing on a rug. Say she's 3 years old and there is a black widow spider there. Okay, the mother comes in, scoops up the little girl, holds her and says, "Don't touch that, it'll kill you." Okay, and she would do. And then just say, so that's the initial sensitizing event. Just say 3 months later, Big Brother comes in with a big hairy spider, starts scaring her, going ha 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 ha, like that. Well, that's the activating event. And then after that, anytime she sees a spider, she is literally screaming because she thinks they're all going to kill her. Okay, that is how a fear is set up. Does that make sense? Have you got any questions on that?
What was SSE?
Yeah.
Subsequent sensitizing events. So that's anything similar again that's like it. So all of the spiders then are just going to kill her. Does that make sense? Yep. So that is why we have to get rid of those two, the first two. Okay, we still might have to clear up all the other subsequent ones, but the first two are the most important. Now, just say again that this is your brain, and these are your thoughts. So many people have thoughts of, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, who do I think I am? Oh gosh, here we go again. Da, 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 da. Can you see that path well trod? Yeah. And then that starts to become our beliefs. And what is that word inside beliefs?
Lie.
Yeah, lie. I lie. You are telling yourself stories. People tell themselves stories all the time. And they hypnotize themselves with this belief, with this story that they're not worthy, they're not good enough. What's the point? What's the point of me? So I have to dehypnotize people and we run a new movie through the head. Okay? And we do that in hypnosis, which today you will have a recording of as well, because I'll send you that as another one. Okay? So that we run a new movie, because it's much better, because we are the movies we play in our heads, are we not? Because we don't want this going on, this BS, because that is a belief system. Okay? And we don't want that going on. That's BS. So we're going to run a new movie through your head today as well. Okay? Now, before I do some mindfulness with everybody, because I know this is a lot, so I'm going to draw one more diagram, which is actually my favourite. Okay? I'll just check before I move on and check, Dan, do you have any other questions on that? On anything that I've done so far? No? You're good to go?
Everything's good so far.
Okay, excellent. Okay. So, and if anybody else does, please feel free as well to write it in the, put them in the chat. Okay, so this is my favourite one. Are you ready? Starts at the very beginning of life. Got the sperm, meets the egg, makes a little zygote, and the first thing that is made of the human is the brain. And it is our unconscious bit of our brain, and it is in charge of our bodily functions. Because it immediately says make a heart, eyes, nose, ears, mouth, teeth, legs, kidney, spleen, all the bits. So it's in charge of our bodily functions. And it's also in charge of our immune system, because when we are ill, we sleep. Yeah, we sleep. Now, at 22 weeks, baby is fully made. And the next bit of the brain is made, and that is our subconscious mind, and that is in charge of our senses. Sight, sound, hearing, touch, taste, smell. Yeah? We all know our senses. And our feelings, our senses are in charge of our feelings, which are our emotions, which is energy in motion. Our emotions is energy in motion. So I'll ask you right now, when you were little and you heard children playing outside, what did you want to do?
Join them.
Join them. Yeah, you wanted to play because you heard it, you saw it, oh, you felt it. Well, this is going to be fun. So, and you went outside. So that goes backwards and forwards, and it creates a state. And it is the same for the ching, 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 flashing lights in Las Vegas. Same for anybody who smells marijuana. I want some. You know, if they are a weed smoker. Same for anybody, alcohol. It's like, or even sports, you know. They see, we want to go play some football now. It's like they will just get all G'd up because they saw it, they felt it, creates a state, and a state creates a habit. And a habit always has a positive intention. And it's also a protector. And it's also a little bit lazy in that it goes back to that default thing every time. So it has a positive intention, it's a protector, and it's also lazy because it goes back to that thing that you always do, which becomes our beliefs and our values. Okay? Like we've already mentioned. From that one, the beliefs and the values. And it could be good, it could be bad. Now, next bit of the brain is made. Oh, that was quite a good circle. Is our conscious mind. Guess how old we are when our conscious mind is made? 5 to 7 years old. Around about then, this is just a model again, 5 to 7 years old. And as Einstein said, it is our IQ and is 10% of us, which can only ever go up or down 4%. Okay, so your A student, can get to honour roll. Your D student can get to a C, maybe a B. Okay? Maybe they're really good on the soccer pitch. Maybe they can do sort of like know how to hit that ball just in the right place, and they are a genius on the soccer pitch, on the football pitch, but they may not be necessarily in the classroom doing quadratic equations. Okay? Interesting, isn't it? Some people are just really good with their hands, but they're just not the way teachers want to teach them in the class. Everybody's different. So people's IQ is different. This bit in the middle is 90% of us and is our emotional intelligence, is our EQ. So our subconscious, unconscious mind is where all this is, the emotional intelligence, our feelings. This can grow exponentially and can grow. Isn't that lovely? So this bit really does grow. This 10% bit can only ever go up or down 4%. Now, out here in our conscious mind is the willpower, you see. And out here, over this side, I'm going to write our conscious mind is our rational, analytical, critical, comparing and contrasting part of us. Okay, so that's what I'm writing now. Just hold it up. It's our rational, analytical, critical, comparing and contrasting part of us. Because when we were little, we didn't know if somebody was pink, purple, black, white, spotty, stripy. We had to learn the difference between black and white. And that was at school. People taught us. And they were as well. Black people were taught the difference from their parents, from friends. Wouldn't that be lovely if we were just all still like that? And that nice bit in there where it was just playing with everybody. Everybody was the same. Be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. So my job is to bypass the critical faculty of the conscious mind and go in here to create change. And we do that through hypnosis, shock, and relaxation. So that is meditations. Or just when you're doing, if you've got a wonderful hobby like fishing. Hypnosis, shock. Okay, so I will be doing hypnosis, shock. I will not be doing shock therapy. What I mean by that is a best friend of ours, his twin brother died of drinking and smoking too much, and he stopped just like that. Shock doesn't always work. I have had other people still smoking, cancer survivors still smoking, because they actually still had these going on. Got to clear those, because there will be this young belligerent part, say, that wants to still smoke, and that is what I had to deal with people using, say, maybe speaking to that part of them that wants to still smoke. So so imagine you have a smoker, and going to use their willpower. It's New Year's Eve. I'm going to stop smoking. They go to a party. Their friends are drinking and smoking. And he's drinking. Never said he was going to stop drinking. So they're saying, come on out and have a cigarette. What do you think is going to win? The army of 10% or the army of 90%? 90, yeah. Because this bit in the middle, you see, just like it doesn't know any differences between anybody, this bit in the middle, it doesn't know that gambling, too much gambling or whatever, anything too much is bad for us. Too much alcohol, smoking, vaping, drugs. It doesn't know if anything is good or bad for us. All it wants to do, I'm going to unline this, protect your feelings. And that smoker, wanted to belong to his friends, which is a human need to belong. Okay, it's huge. Belonging. So, yeah. Any questions on that? You see, we are not our behaviours. I'll spell it the American way. We are our good intention. And our good intention is always going to be to protect our feelings. Which is why people do all of these things instead of feeling that. Because to feel that is painful, but I will help you feel that. And you will feel it in real time. You feel it quickly, and then we release it pretty damn quickly. Okay, so any questions on that at all? Does that make sense, Dan?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, you see, we can only manage what we can acknowledge. And now that you have all this awareness of why you behave the way you do, why others behave the way they do around you, isn't it helpful? Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? You've just like gone all these light bulb moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so helpful. Okay, so I know there's a lot, so we're just going to have a little bit of time because I'm going to do some mindfulness, okay, with you all, which I think will be really nice and relaxing. So I'm just going to get some music on, and then we can start doing some, I'll give you some techniques and strategies. So get yourselves all nice and comfortable, okay, feet on the floor. I'm going to play some music. And there we go. Hopefully you can hear it through here. Can you hear it? Excellent. Okay. That's right. And just allowing your eyes to feel comfortably closed now, while you focus your attention on your breathing. Breathing in and out, softly and rhythmically. That's right. And notice any sounds inside the room. And any sounds outside the room. And notice how your body feels. Any physical sensations. Notice how your head feels. How your back feels. How your hands feel. How your legs feel. And how your feet feel. And notice your thoughts. No need to change them. Just notice them. And focus your attention on your breathing again. Breathing in and out, softly and rhythmically. And notice any sounds inside the room. And any sounds outside the room. And notice how your body feels. Any physical sensations. And notice your thoughts. They may be the same thoughts, or they may be different thoughts. It doesn't matter. It's whatever it is for you. And focus your attention on your breathing again. Breathing in and out, softly and rhythmically. And notice any sounds inside the room. And any sounds outside the room. And notice how your body feels. Any physical sensations. And notice your thoughts. No need to change them. Just notice them. And when you're ready, come on back to me, feeling revitalized, restored, and ready to conquer the day ahead of you. That's right. This is nice, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just my version of mindfulness. And I don't mind saying I use that a lot. I will text that to you as well so that you've got it. And just make sure I've got your phone number so I can text it to you. Okay? Because I listen to that in between clients sometimes. It's like, yeah, it's really nice. Okay. So, all right. Oh, and by the way, tics. I don't know if you have any. However, tics are things that people do, all right? And I will share this. I once had a client who said to me, "Oh, I've got lots of tics," and I said, "Show you okay to show me? Show me what do you do? So she did share some of them with me, including this one. And I said, what does that mean to you? And she said, oh, it means I'm happy and excited. And I went, oh, I do that when I'm happy and excited. I said, can we keep that one? And she went, yeah, okay. Should we get rid of the others and just keep that one? But then we both do it. And she went, yeah, okay. And the others went. I mean, it was just like, because we were sharing one. I mean, it's just wonderful, the things that people can just do and accept when they're ready to. Because one of the most important things is for people to have the right attitude. Okay? Got the right attitude? I can help you. And what I'm going to give you right now is a lot of skills. Okay? A lot of skills. So we now know that I've given you a lot of the knowledge, and you may well read books and have lots of knowledge anyway. Okay? Knowledge is nothing without skills or without the right attitude. And that gives us this wonderful thing called ask. Okay? Ask questions. Keep asking questions, everybody. Get curious. Okay? Now, what I am also going to explain to you right now is some breathing techniques. Breathing is one of the most, obviously we all breathe, okay? However, breathing, people will say to you, oh yeah, just do deep breathing. You know, you get a lot of people say, oh, just deep breathing. Okay, well, I'm going to show you how and why. The reason why we breathe in through the nose is because it activates the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is directly linked to the parasympathetic nervous system, so it calms all the organs down. Whoo, like that. So, here is a really quick one for you. Do you all remember crying so much when you were little that you would go like that? Yeah? Do you ever remember that? I know I do. I still remember it. Okay. And people go, stop your crying. You go like that. Okay? So you do it all the more. So I'm going to ask you right now to, I'm not going to ask you to snort Coke, okay? But I'm going to ask you to snort up through your nose. Ready? Like this. Going to go like that. Okay, ready? Going to go, hold it. And then, okay, let's do it again. You ready? Snorting. Hold it. And you can feel the relaxation right here in your chest, can't you? It works immediately. It's great for a panic attack, okay? And you would keep repeating it until you feel that, that just come down. Did you all feel it? If you didn't, do it again, all right? So I use this. You have big trucks here in America and they come right up your backside. So I have to do that in my car, all right? There is another one, all right? So it's called 7-11 breathing. There's a whole load. You can do box breathing, 4-4-4. You can do it around your phone. There's all sorts of ones you can do. However, I quite like this one. Imagine you are in an elevator in you've got a swanky hotel first of all, and there's this elevator, okay? I want you to go into the elevator and imagine that you are breathing in as you're going up the elevator, up to the top of your head. Okay, so we're going to breathe in now for 7. Breathing in for 7, counting up to 7, you go to the top of your head, which is, right, that's the penthouse suite. You get out, have a quick look, because you're holding your breath, have a quick look around the penthouse suite, get back in, and then you're going to breathe out slowly for 11, going down, and you go down to the garages, and then you drive off in your Maserati. Okay, whatever you want to do. So let's do that together. All right, breathing in for 7. Okay, you can have your eyes closed. Breathing in for 7. I'm going to go. Hold it. Have a quick look around the penthouse suite. Get back in and then breathe out slowly for 11. Down to the garages, and you go off in your Maserati. Isn't that nice? Okay, and then you would repeat it. You repeat it, okay? That's a slightly slower one than the quick judder breathing. So I've just given you some breathing techniques and the reason why we do it in through the nose. All right? Now, here's a grounding technique if you ever have panic attacks. And this is a great one. If you have grandchildren or children, you can play this with them. And if they're getting a bit like anxious, or because I dislike that word anxiety, and I'm going to tell you why right now why. Because when I was little, I didn't even know anxiety existed. Kids nowadays, they're like 6 or 7 saying they've got anxiety. I'm like, what? How do they even know what it is? I didn't know what it was until I was 15. It's butterflies in your tummy. It's nervous excitement. Now, I do know that there is real anxiety for some people, okay, so I don't want to diminish it. However, children are told now that they have it. So I invite you now to, even with your own anxious feelings, is it real anxiety, or is it nervous excitement? I have nervous excitement before I do a show. I have nervous excitement before I do a presentation, but I'm not anxious, but I have nervous excitement. Isn't that so much nicer? I've had so many clients who literally reframe their anxiety to nervous excitement and they feel better for it immediately. However, I do know that there is real anxiety, and I'm not going to take that away from people. Okay, I don't want to diminish it in any way. However, this is a really good game to play, and it is a grounding technique. So, five things you can see. And then you would say out loud 5 things you can see. And 4 things you can touch. So go touch 4 things. 3 things you can hear. 2 things you can smell. And smell your armpit if necessary. Now, when you're smelling your armpit, guess what? You say to somebody else, smell their armpit, you're suddenly laughing. You cannot have anxious feelings when you are laughing. It goes back to caveman days, because they would not have been procreating, they would not have been drinking, eating, sleeping, whatever, any of that, if the saber-toothed tiger had been there. They wouldn't be smiling. They wouldn't be laughing if there was a saber-toothed tiger there. So smelling your armpit immediately knocks people out of any anxious feelings anyway, because suddenly your mouth, your features are going up, you see, into a smile, and that tricks the parasympathetic nervous system, or rather it tricks the sympathetic nervous system back into parasympathetic. And then 1 thing you can taste, okay? And people generally have water, or they can still taste coffee on them, or they can lick the back of their hand. There's always something you can taste. That is a game you can play with yourself. You've immediately grounded yourself because it is all the senses. Okay? So that is a very, very useful tool. Now, I'm going to write down now the Reiki precepts. I have adapted them. All right? So I have got my Reiki 2, and here they are. Just for today. So just for today. All right, write that at the top. Just for today.
How do you spell Reiki?
Pardon? Oh, Reiki.
Thank you.
Just for today. Past is past. We can't do anything about the past. Ooh, I can. Okay, because I have techniques and strategies to help people with past emotions, past significant emotional events. The future is also the future, and people do a lot of what ifs. Yeah? What if? And it can create overwhelm. So just imagine, like that, reading that is your to-do list. This is like kids' homework. This. Look at all of that. That's a lot of text, isn't it? So that can feel like overwhelm. That is what a lot of people do. Oh, this is what I invite you to do. Cover it up. Didn't that feel nice? Didn't that feel so much nicer? Cover up the overwhelm. Okay? Cover it up and then do it bit by bit by bit. Do the most important things first. But that can look horrible and overwhelming, and that can be like children's homework. So yes, cover it up and do it bit by bit by bit. Same with us. All right? So here, this is what we're going to do with the what ifs. I'm just going to write up at the top here. What if, I want you to finish the sentence with, I'll handle it. Because you always do. Yeah? You always do handle it. I once had a client who said to me, "Oh, Claudia, I know what I'll be saying. What if I don't handle it?" So I said, "Where's the evidence that you never handled it?" And she said, "Well, there was this one time." So I said, "Okay." I said, "Did you get some learning? Did you get some learning from that?" And she went, "Oh, yeah." So you see, there is never a fail, only learning. There is never a fail in life. There's only ever learning. What did you learn? That you preferred that if that hadn't happened, but it did. And what did you learn? What did you learn from that? Okay, so just for today, no need to worry. Except, you know what? We're going to cross that out. And we're going to put, I choose to, my pen's running out. I choose to feel what? What would you prefer to feel like? Just for today, I choose to feel, shout it out. What do you choose to feel like, somebody?
Pain-free.
Pain-free? Anybody else? Energized. There we go. Relaxed. Nice. I choose to feel. So let's put that, because that covers a lot of things. Relaxed. Okay? I choose to feel relaxed. Okay? No need to anger. Now, anger is an interesting one. Anger, in my opinion, is bad if it's violent or if we should on ourselves. So the should is going to now at least equal could. Preferably I choose to, because you always have a choice. Who's in control of you? Who is in control of you? Yeah. So you always have a choice. You always have a choice. And when people say, no, I really don't have a choice, we can, and if you are spiritual, you can pray. And that helps. So, no need to anger. Again, you see, I don't always mind some anger. Because in my opinion, it is the kick up the butt to create change. Yeah? Because below that change is often self-love, which is the biggest emotion that we can ever have for ourselves. Love. So if you are in a bad relationship, if you are doing something that is bad for you, you need that anger to go and set. So many clients, they come and see me because they are now fed up. They've tried all the things, they've done this is still going on, they're in this relationship or whatever it is, and they are saying no more. And they are angry. Below that anger for change, because they've got the right attitude, yeah, is self-love. That wins. So I don't mind that anger for change. Does that make sense? I think it's very powerful. We need that sometimes to give us the energy, because behind anger is a lot of energy, Shauna, you said energized, so which was great, but below that is a lot of energy, and we need that energy to move us on for change. Does that make sense? So instead of being angry with other people, we be honest. But what is being honest? Okay, it's saying I feel, I wonder. So I want you to now, because if this is interactive, I want you to write down all the things where you could use that in your life, with work colleagues, whoever. So let me give an example. I wonder if we can put some fun music on and tidy the house up in 10 minutes. I mean, it would be done. I feel hurt. I wonder if you could put that down a minute and listen to me. You're owning it. I wonder. I feel. Does that make sense? So I'm going to just take a few moments now and because I wonder where you could use that in your life to help you communicate, because these are really good for communication skills now. The next one is be humble. Ooh, what's this? Well, it's not saying I'm sorry, because we're not doormats. What be humble is listening. We have 2 ears for a reason. And it is listening, because we are all annoying. Okay, every single one of you is annoying. I am annoying. My family's annoying. Your family's annoying. We are all annoying because we are human beings. So of course we're annoying. Okay, so it's listening. If somebody is pointing out your quirks, your foibles, your things that you do that are annoying, listen and go, do I? Yeah, you're right. Thank you for pointing it out. I'll be more aware. Agree with them. Now they got their need met, which was to be heard. Everybody has a need to be heard. Now you heard them. Now guess what you can come in with? Yes, you're right. I'll be more aware. And I wonder. So now you can use the I wonder or I feel. They will more likely hear you now because you heard them. Does that make sense? So write down anywhere where you might like to be more humble and listen to other people instead of going, no, I don't do that. Well, you do this. I no. Because you guess what? That happens. Yep. You've not heard them. They're not hearing you. Got a massive argument. Okay? So they don't know this. You do now. Listen. And then agree with them. Because in their opinion, they probably are right. In their opinion. And then you can also go, so yep, you're right. Now, if they happen to have narcissistic tendencies, this is how you can say it with them is, yes, you're right. In your opinion. Bye. That's what we do with people who have narcissistic tendencies. So, be humble. Now, this one really is for everybody. Okay? Ooh. Be compassionate towards yourself and others. So be kind to yourself. Okay, be kind to yourself. So if you do worry, if you do get angry, be kind to yourself. You are only a human being. Yeah? And remember, be compassionate towards yourself and others because they all have those exiles in pain and are also all being triggered. That word, Yeah? So they're all doing that. Does that make sense? Okay. So now here's a really cool way to let it go. This is my monkey story. Okay? Now, monkeys live in the jungle and they go from tree to tree, so we can't catch them. So what we do is we bury a vase shaped like that. We bury it in the sand or the soil. We put in a shiny stone or some fruit, and then we go and hide in the bushes. Now, Monkey has been watching you. Monkeys are very curious. So Monkey climbs down off the tree, pops his little hand in, grabs hold of the shiny stone or the fruit, and he makes a fist. And he can't get out. You come over, pop the net over Monkey. Monkey's trapped. Monkey's lost his happiness. Monkey's lost his freedom. If only he'd let it go. I want you to do that right now with your hands. Let it go. You have to physically do it. Let it go, let it go, let it go. I use this one. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Okay? You have to physically let it go out of your hands because you are this magnificent tree. And these are your branches. And a bird comes and lands in your branch. And a bird is the thought. Well, we all know what happens with birds and thoughts. Oh, you get another bird, another thought in this other branch. And then you have all these branches up here full of birds, full of thoughts. And then they make nests. And then they have babies, and then they crap all over your tree. Yep. Starts with one thought. One thought. You don't need to let it make a nest. We all have thoughts. You will always still have thoughts. You don't need to let it make a nest. Pop your hands out in front of you. Everybody, put your hands out in front of you. I'm going to put the thought of a feather in one hand and the thought of a kettlebell in the other. Which one's heavier? Someone shout it out. Which one's heavier?
Kettlebell.
Do you know what? It was a trick question. Both the same, because it was just a thought. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? How much weight we give to the heavier one. And that is what we do all the time because we have 70,000 thoughts a day. 70,000 thoughts a day. 53,000 are negative. 53,000 thoughts a day are negative. We're hardwired for it because it goes back to the primitive times when we were always looking out for the other tribe, saber-toothed tiger. We're hardwired because safety and security is, again, a primitive thing that we all desire. So we're always looking out for it. So we're always having negative thoughts. Now, so it's my job, because this workshop is called Becoming a Happier You. Okay, so I want you to all draw a line like that. 10% of the day, no matter what, we're going to be sad. There is always something sad. There's always some sad news that we hear, yeah? 10% of the day, we will always be happy. Because there's always a cute little animal to see, yeah? Cute baby, cute something. So we have this bit in the middle. Now, did you know that there are more unhappy millionaires than there are happy millionaires? And it is because they are not billionaires. And they are saying to themselves all the time, I'll be happy when? I'll be happy when I have the bigger yacht. And people do this all the time. I'll be happy when I lose 30 pounds. I'll be happy when I have that job. I'll be happy when I'm married. I'll be happy when I've got a child. I'll be happy when I do this, when I do that. What about being happy along the way? or happier. So when people are doing that, I'll be happy when, guess where they go? They go into the gap. How about if they looked at what they have got, what they have achieved? Guess where they go then? Ooh, into the gain. No one is 100% happy all the time. I don't know, wherever it said that we had to be happy 100% all the time, the big book of America. I don't know. However, it is just not true. Okay, but that is what people think they have to be like. That is why, oh, I've got anxiety. Yeah, you're going to have it. We have stress. There is good stress and there is bad stress. There is distress. We all have stress. Stress is what can give us the impetus to keep growing and learning and getting curious. That, when that is pulling apart with all the poo on it, that is distress. So if I can help people from their distress, they can handle just normal stress. Because there is normal stress, because that is everyday, day in life. Keeps us working, keeps us performing, keeps us having purpose. Does that make sense? So now I have another story. I hope you like stories. This is one of my favourites, and for some reason I always like to read it from my big red book. It makes me feel more important, and I think it's a bit like there's this programme in England when we were little called Jackanory, and there was this man on this big chair and he would read from this book. Anyway, I digress. An ageing Hindu master noticed that a certain apprentice would often feel down and complain about his life, and so one morning sent him for some salt. When the apprentice returned, the master instructed the unhappy young man to put a handful of salt into a glass of water and then to drink it. "How does it taste?" the master asked. "Bitter," spat the apprentice. The two walked in silence to the nearby lake, and now the master instructed the younger man to cast another handful of salt into the clear lake. The old man said, "Now drink from the lake." As the water dripped down the young man's chin, the master asked, "How does it taste?" "Fresh," remarked the apprentice. "Do you taste the salt?" asked the master. "No," said the young man. At this, the master sat beside this serious young man, who so reminded him of himself when he had been young, and took his hands, offering, "The pain of life is pure salt, no more, no less. The amount of pain in life remains exactly the same. However, the amount of bitterness we taste depends on the container we put the pain in. So when you are in pain, the only thing you can do is to enlarge your sense of things. Stop being a glass. Become a lake." Okay? So what I want you to do now is just above your head is to imagine, find a spot on the wall, okay, in front of you. And I'd like you to put something that you are frustrated about, irritated about, feeling anxious about, anything on a wall in front of you. Focus it on that point. Now I want you to scale it. 10 being the worst, 0, nothing. Scale it on that wall. Now I want you to put your hands like this in front of you. Put them on the dot. And then I want you to slowly open up your arms until you can see your hands in the periphery of your vision, keeping that annoyance, that stuff on that dot. And then notice how you feel about that thing now. Is it as bad? No, it's not, is it? And then you repeat it, because you keep bringing that point, that annoyance down from whatever it was. It might have been a 9, bring it down to 7, bring it down. You keep repeating it and repeat it. No drugs involved. Amazing, isn't it? Okay? So I want you all now to put your hands out in front of you and just say that's your future. Yeah? I want each and every one of you to imagine that I am standing behind you. I actually do this in my sessions with people. And then I'm going to pull, imagine I'm standing behind you, and I'm going to pull your arms wide open. That's your future. Okay, so do it again. Ready? And I want you all to shout it like, that's my future. Ready? Going to go, that's my future. It's pretty cool. It's very powerful when I do it live, okay, or do it with other people. Very, very powerful. So powerful for youngsters because they can feel so awful around any of those expectations that they're feeling because of exam results. But when you just go like that, you're going to live until you're 100. And you're just focusing on that thing right now. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Amazing. And then this is something else I give in my sessions. Can you see these are glow sticks? I'm going to break these now. I want you to listen to this. Can you hear it breaking? You hear that? Sometimes we have to break in order to shine. Yeah. And when people, imagine breaking that yourself, and then I say that. It's very, very powerful. Because people do feel broken. Not everybody, but a lot of people that I see feel broken. So a lot of these things I do get from other people, by the way. I didn't come up with them all myself. I got this from Dan Candell. The thing with the feathers and thing I got from Luke Howard. Loads of stuff from Beryl Comer, Carl Smith. You know, I get loads of stuff from other people, and it's just that I've put it all together, and to me it just makes sense. Again, do you remember when I said from this diagram here, our feelings are our emotions, which is energy in motion? I've got another tool for you. Okay? Put your finger up. Okay. We've got some anxious feelings, got some annoyance, got some frustration. Our emotions is energy in motion. It's always got to spin. It's always got to spin. I want you to spin it. Spin it. Spin it. What colour is it? Notice what colour it is. Keep spinning it. Has it got a sound, a smell? Keep spinning it. Keep spinning it. Really feel your feelings. Got to feel your feelings. Got to feel your feelings. Stop! Now spin it the other way. Now what colour is it? Now, what does it smell like, sound like? It's different, isn't it? It is literally unravelled. I know. No drugs involved. You have to feel your feelings though. So again, you have breathing, okay? There's the grounding technique. You have let it go. Just shake it off. You've got the open your arms. You have the spin technique. And now you have this too. Is it true? If you have a negative thought, could be, say, I'm unworthy. I want you to immediately ask yourself this question. Is it true? Is it true? Is it absolutely true? No, it's not, is it? It's not true. How do you feel when you have that thought? So ask yourself, how do I feel when I have that thought? Feel crappy, don't you? How do I feel when I have that thought? Yep. That I'm unworthy. Yep. I feel awful. How do you feel when you don't have that thought? Ask yourself that. How do I feel when I don't have this? You feel normal, yeah? You feel okay. So is it true? No. So let it go. Okay. Seriously, let it go. I got those from Byron Katie. Actually, I really like those questions. I've just adapted them a bit. Now, there's also the whole thing of being flexible. So let me tell you a little story. There was a big oak tree on this island. I'm really big and strong. I'm better than all you other little palm trees and all you little pine trees. Along comes a tsunami. Well, this big strong oak tree with those big solid roots got uprooted. Yet the palm trees and the pine trees remained because they were able to be flexible. I invite that into your vocabulary, to become flexible with other people. Because if we are the big oak tree and will not change or adapt to other people's little quirks, that word acceptance, then we will be the ones who are uprooted. Yeah? So being flexible is really important moving forwards for all of us to become happier. We are not in control of other people. It's just not. Who are you in control of?
Yourself.
Yeah, just you. And that's enough. Okay? So it's how we respond to other people. So, which leads me to this one. If you do get really frustrated with people, there is this wonderful thing called pause. Pause. Press your pause button. We all have a magic pause button, like on the remote control. Pause. And then think. I want you to think about whether you are going to respond or react. And I want you to go down, while you're pausing, a little scenario of you, whether you will, of how it is when you react and how it is when you respond. And then you're going to decide what you're going to do. And then you will act on it. So let me explain that one. Living in America has been very interesting. When we first arrived, somebody said to me, don't drink the normal milk here. It's like, why not? It's got pus in it. You have to get organic milk all the time. I was like, oh. So I said to my husband, my daughter at the time, she was drinking a lot of milk, all right, she's 12, 13 at the time. I said, can you get organic milk, please, next time you go shopping? He came back with the normal milk. I really wanted to react and go, I asked you to get organic. I didn't. I stopped, paused. I paused. And I said to him, next time, so I left a little gap, left about an hour. Next time you go shopping, can you get organic milk, please? Because normal milk has pus in it. See, the first time I didn't give him a because. Does that make sense? People don't know why they're going to do something if you don't tell them the reason. Why you want, because I had that expectation that he would get organic milk, but no, he went for the cheapest because he would. So you've got to give somebody a reason, you see, so that you're not disappointed. Does that make sense? So it always goes back, because otherwise I'd have been in that triangle, and then I've got angry, and then it's like I would have, because I was fearing that my daughter was going to drink a whole load of funny hormone stuff. You see, so we can all do it. So this is why this pause button is very, very helpful. Just stop and notice whether you're going to choose, because you're always in control of yourself, to respond or react. Very, very helpful. Okay, so I'm going to just pause a moment myself, and just ask, has anybody got any questions on anything that I have suggested already?
Actually, Claudia, I do. Just to go back, when you were doing the first diagram, and then that bit that you say this is your homework or your fun work or whatever to take away, and for them to come up with their issues that they want to work on.
Yeah.
If you're doing that on a first session, surely they know what the issues are. They already have decided that that's why they're coming to see you.
Yeah.
So why give them that to go home with? I'm trying to relate this to, say, for instance, when I work with children, I take the parent in now first to go through the whole process with them. But I do a full session with them. I do the diagrams and going into the whole bunny talk and the eye movements. So I don't see why or how the homework part works.
Because they might not have known that there's other stuff.
Okay.
Because suddenly you're doing all of this with them, building of the diagrams. So say somebody's coming with you for smoking, they want you to stop smoking, or they're vaping or gaming.
Yeah.
Right? Well, why are they gaming? So so they don't know it's because, so sometimes it might be anxiety, but these are all behaviors. These are all symptoms. Yeah. That is the root issue.
Okay.
So that is what they are writing on their that is what I want on here.
Okay.
It's a significant emotional event or feeling to get to the root of the issue. Yeah, okay. You're right. They'd come to you with these, but people only ever come to me. I'm smoking, I'm gaming, I'm vaping, I've got anxious, I'm thinking too much. That's all in here. They're not coming with the reason why. So I want, I was trapped. After this, they'll understand that it's because of the poo. So, it was when I was trapped. It was when I was drowning in wherever I was. My hand got slammed. It was this teacher. She ridiculed me at school in front of everybody. She tore my homework up in front of everybody. That's why I can't now speak in public, because not speaking in public is a fear, and it's here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then with children, depending on their age, could you nearly do that in the session rather it be something that they come back with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's also a nice, if you want to do some forgiveness for yourself and forgiveness of others, there's a lovely little prayer called the Ho'oponopono.
Oh yeah, I use it.
And Dan, I don't know if you've ever come across this, but it's this is it. I'll write it down. I need to get another pen. I've run out. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And we put that out. I actually say this every day on my bike. There's a certain bit where I have to go uphill, and I say that. I put it out. I say it out loud. I'm sorry. And I know I've said, don't say we're sorry, but it's part of the prayer. But it's also to myself. And somehow it works. Okay? I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And there is, I'm not going to go into the science behind it or anything, because you can actually look it up. But it's the Ho'oponopono prayer, and it is it's very powerful. And there are people, we have colleagues of ours who will do big presentations on that, and it's rather lovely. So there is always that. If you do sense that there's something that you want to either forgive yourself for, and there's other people that you would like them to forgive you, you can send them that love, because that will help you become happier. Because this is what this is all about, is becoming a happier you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a session of hypnosis with you, so that you can run a good movie through your head. Okay, so this is just a short taster of hypnosis. So what is hypnosis? Okay, so hypnosis is something that we go into every single day, all of us. Have you ever driven home, okay, on your way home, because you know the way really well, and you suddenly zone out and you get home, you go, ooh, how did I get home? Did I knock somebody over? Did I go through a red light? I'm just here. Wow, that went by so quickly. Yeah, that was eyes open hypnosis. The sports players, if you ever played sport or you watch people playing sport, they're not going, oh, hi, mum, hi, because that would go, boom, they get hit on the head with the ball. They have to be in the zone. So you've got sports players, they are on the pitch. They are hearing the crowd, they're not noticing the crowd. They are in their zone, in the flow, if you like. And they have to be in that, because then they're getting into space to play properly. Yeah? That's eyes open hypnosis. That is all hypnosis is. It is focused attention, utilizing your imagination. What about when we watch television? Anybody watch Mufasa and cried? What about Superman? Oh yes, of course he saved the world with that. Getting I don't know, the big boulder up with a dam and stuff like that. Could lift the car up, save people. It's not real, yet we're all in it. Eyes open, utilising our imagination, focused attention. We might watch a movie, get angry with it, cross with it, cry. That's, again, it's all eyes open hypnosis. And that is all I'm going to do with you. It is, do you remember I said we had 70,000 thoughts a day? So it is just like this. It's a barrel. So we have 70,000, or a funnel rather, and we just have less as we go into hypnosis. We have less thoughts. You will still have thoughts in hypnosis. You may go to, I wonder what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. However, you'll come back to my voice. You'll come back to me. Okay? Now, so what it is, I'll try and draw it on here. We have these beta. Beta is wide awake right now, hopefully. But I bet even now, while you have all been on here, every so often, every single one of you will have drifted off and gone into alpha. You'll have all zoned out a bit somewhere. Oh, and you've gone, oh, what did she say? Alpha, theta. Theta is that bit just before we go to sleep. Before we go to sleep at night. That lovely bit. You know that bit where you just go, oh, I'm going to drop off. Okay, that bit. That is theta. That, alpha and theta, is hypnosis. And then you have delta. I don't want you asleep. That delta is sleep. You won't hear me. I don't want you in there. Sometimes I do have clients of mine who fall asleep in my session. They start snoring. And I've always told them, I'll wiggle your toes. I had one man, as soon as I started speaking, he fell asleep. I made him sit on the floor in the end. And he had to, and he still fell asleep. He still fell asleep on the floor because it was just my voice. So in the end, it was just like, just close your eyes. And I'd do the work because he was already there. So it's just different people. However, today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an eye fixation and we'll see how you get on with that. So if anybody needs the bathroom right now, because this has been a long session, go, all go. I'll pause
Yep.
the recording just so that you're comfortable. Okay? So and notice how your hands feel while you're noticing your breathing, while you're listening to the sound of my voice and focusing your eyes on that spot on the wall. And notice how your feet feel. While you're noticing how your hands feel. While you're noticing your breathing. Listening to the sound of my voice. And focusing your eyes on that spot on the wall. And your eyes are becoming heavy and tired now, heavy and tired. And you can naturally, easily and effortlessly lower your eyelids now while you continue to listen to the sound of my voice. And any noises inside or outside, they won't disturb you. You'll just know it's the sounds of other people going about their daily business. And that's fine, because you're here with me, feeling safe and calm, and allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper into that wonderful place of relaxation. And your eyes are feeling so comfortably relaxed now that even if you tried to open them, you just couldn't be bothered to open them. That even if you tried to open them, you just couldn't be bothered to open them. And you may find that you can raise your eyebrows, yet you just can't open your eyelids. And in a moment, I will be asking you to open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, I'll be asking you to close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, you will go 10 times, 20 times deeper and deeper into your hypnosis. That's right. Open your eyes and close your eyes and go 10 times, 20 times deeper and deeper into your hypnosis. That's right. Open your eyes and close your eyes and go 30, 40, 50 times deeper and deeper into your hypnosis. Whatever your hypnosis is for you. That's right. And that wonderful mind of yours knows how it can go even deeper still now. As you go 60 times deeper, 70 times deeper, 80 times deeper and deeper into your hypnosis. Whatever your hypnosis is for you. And that wonderful mind can go even deeper still now as you go 80 times deeper, 90 times deeper, and 100 times deeper and deeper, all the way down now, deep, deep down into your hypnosis. Whatever your hypnosis is for you. That's right. And now, I'd like that wonderful mind and imagination of yours to drift off to that magical, mystical place in your mind, that safe place of yours, whatever it is for you, that magical, mystical place where you can make positive lifestyle changes now. And now, while you're in this magical, mystical place, this safe place of yours, I'd like you to drift off and give yourself a gift. So while you're in this magical, mystical place, I'd like you to give yourself a gift. Make it a good gift. Make it a really good gift. It could be a gift around your beliefs, your values, or something that you really want or desire right now. Make it a good gift. And now, I'd like you to use that wonderful mind and imagination of yours to imagine a force field surrounding your body, protecting you. And this force field protects you because you do not give other people's bad behaviour or their emotions or your own negative feelings and emotions permission to change the way you feel. And this force field acts like an emotional barrier or boundary protecting you because you do not give other people's bad behaviour or their emotions or your own negative feelings and emotions permission to change the way you feel. And there's an opening in this force field, and it's where we breathe in new learnings, new positives, new opportunities, new potential, new adventures. And it's where you breathe out any negative feelings, images, thoughts, emotions or sensations that you've been holding on to. It's where you breathe out all the old negative psychological rubbish that goes on in your head. Breathing it out now. And now, I'd like you to run a movie through your head. And this is a movie of you over the coming days, weeks, months, years. Looking the way you want to look, feeling the way you want to feel, and doing all the things that you want to do. You have this gift. You have this force field surrounding you, protecting you, because you do not give other people's bad behaviour or their emotions or your own negative feelings and emotions permission to change the way you feel. Make it a good movie. Make it a really good movie. We are the movies we play in our heads. We are the movies we play in our heads. Always play a good movie. That's right. And now, in a moment, I will count forwards from 1 to 5. By the time I count to 5, you will open your eyes, emerging from your hypnosis, feeling amazing. In a moment, I will count forwards from 1 to 5. By the time I count to 5, you will open your eyes, emerging from your hypnosis, feeling really good for you. You have this gift. You have this force field surrounding you, protecting you, because you do not give other people's bad behaviour or their emotions permission to change the way you feel. And you've seen yourself in a movie, looking the way you want to look, feeling the way you want to feel, and doing all the things that you want to do. And so ready now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes, feeling amazing, feeling really good for you. You have this gift. You have this force field surrounding you, protecting you, because you do not give other people's bad behaviour or their emotions or your own negative feelings and emotions permission to change the way you feel. And you've seen yourself in a movie, looking the way you want to look, feeling the way you want to feel, and doing all the things that you want to do. That's right. There we go. I shall turn the music off now. Excellent. And we had Melissa join us just then as well. How do you feel? How do you feel, Dan?
Great. Very good. Yeah.
Excellent. You played a good movie?
Yeah.
Gave yourself a good gift?
Yeah.
Are you okay to share with us?
Yeah, I'm job interview this week, so getting the job.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So, and what does that mean to you when you get the job?
Less stress, better pay, better working conditions, just
Excellent.
less stress.
Excellent. That's brilliant. And so you saw, so that this is perfect for you then. So you
Yeah.
saw yourself having it, doing it, and getting it as you ran that movie through your head. Make it yours, make it your own, make it yours. Keep listening to this. I'll send it to you. Listen to that and just see yourself having that. So when you have that as well, this is something else I give to my clients is power pose, being
Mhm.
strong, stepping into
Yeah.
it. I think you've seen me do my roar like a lion thing before.
Yeah.
So it's like, so yeah, just make it yours. Go in, it's yours. You own it. You've seen
Yeah.
it now. You've just given it to yourself as a gift. Perfect. It's yours. Good job.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Well done. Excellent. So I will send that to you, and because I've got your email, Dan. And yeah, excellent. Fantastic. Does everybody else give themselves a good gift? Yeah, good
Yeah.
gift. So I
Yeah.
always ask people, what does that mean to you? Um, and it's like for a lot of people, people can give themselves a hunting knife, they can give themselves this, they can give themselves that. What does it mean to them? Freedom a lot of the time. You've just basically said that as well. Free it is, isn't it? Which is an ultimate thing, freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So awesome, awesome, Dan. Yeah. So and then always play a good movie through our heads. So that rounded it off really nicely for the for what we did today. So because we are the movies we play in our heads, and now you know why you behave the way you do and why others do. So
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So I'm going to press the stop recording there, and then there we go.